Neverness to Everness started its closed beta test, which is a global one, and there are quite a lot of things to talk about. So Mr. Sticks provided his review after playing this game in the first day, first impressions let's say, and me personally, after watching gameplay for already the second day and seeing quite a lot of things, there are quite some stuff to talk about for sure. For those of you who are not familiar with this project, it's an action RPG, an open world. Some people called it actually a GTA in anime style. So yeah, it is what it is. We have some stuff to compare with, but to keep in mind that here is the PG-16, so it's not that harsh as GTA. You should understand it. Yep, it's a little bit different. So yeah, let's begin. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Let's get started.
Okay, let's talk for a minute. Alright. Thoughts after almost 3.5 hours of playing.
Yeah, so these are like early impressions from the game for you to keep in mind. And as I already mentioned, there are quite more stuff to actually discuss because I seen more.
So evidently, people are definitely interested in Neverness. And that's because the game is a very promising gacha game. Now,
it is. I mean, people are waiting a lot for fresh and some actually interesting games to play, which are going to be different from the most popular current gacha games. And this game, it has
what
potential,
do we think?
let's say.
Interesting things. When are you finally gonna show up?
so far, we've experienced what? A few dungeons.
The story,
Yeah, the story. We've
getting
encountered.
arrested,
Yeah, we got
not
arrested.
paying the fee,
Not paying the fine.
being on parole.
The parole system. Yeah, we got to experience.
Finding the random anomalies in the open world and fighting
Can't
those.
let it go to waste.
Yes, that's true. We got to experience the incredible control of the Vespa. The stealing of the cars, driving backwards. Okay, let's just tackle this bit by bit, okay? What do we think of the character models?
Not that.
I will be honest about the character models. For me personally, this is not the most important aspect of the game. Yes, it definitely matters. Yes, they're kinda necessary for overall experience, but for me it's not the major aspect of how am I going to judge the game.
Not good. I really like purple hair girl here. I like the girl wearing the kimono.
Hitori, yeah.
The one-winged girl, her eyes are just so far apart. I
This one. Chat.
can't. Like, zoom up at her face. Let them really see them eyes.
I personally don't see a lot of issues here because let's be real, it's all about the story of the character behind. Yep. So they're trying to provide her impressions, and her face is looking like of a person who is tired of this life. Maybe it makes sense because if we're going to have a look at her, let's say she's an angel with a single one wing, which means something happened. So maybe it's like some point of her story, and that's why she looks like that. I personally don't see a lot of negative aspects here.
She really had the potential to be a very cool looking character. She ended up just being derpy as fuck.
Like, the rest of her model, I like 10 out of 10.
She looks phenomenal.
Yes.
But
And like the booty, her booty looks really good.
So, I mean, character models, they're hit and miss. There are some that are very good, and then there's some that are absolutely terrible. There are more bad and more mid characters, unfortunately, than there are good.
The tiny characters look cute. I have no notes on those. Those
Yeah,
look,
the little kid characters.
those look
kinda
very
cute.
cute. I know you're probably not gonna play them, but I probably.
Well, that's because I
will.
hate lollies.
I know. I just, they're cute.
The voice acting. That is
It is what it is. I mean, nothing personal here. It's up to everyone how they prefer, what do they like or not. Characters might be different. It's not obligatory for you to play every one of them.
very hit or miss. So some of the characters have really good voice acting, right? Like Natalie, or Nanalie as they call her. Fakasha Bread has a great voice actor. The NPC guy that looks like Welt from Honkai Star Rail has a great voice actor. The dog man is a great voice actor. The chick from the beginning in the business suit, the one with the long hair and the glasses, she sounded like she had AI voice acting.
Interesting thing.
Some of the NPCs you see around the town sound like they have AI voice acting. Overall, though, I think the voice acting is pretty decent.
For the voice acting, of course, it's kind of an important aspect of, again, overall impressions from the game. Especially if the game is focusing on the storyline and it's, let's say, one of the main aspects. And also, not to mention, when you have, let's say, poor experience, especially if you're a native speaker, probably it sounds weird for you in some cases. Maybe it's not really that important for some of viewers, but in general, overall, it provides the feelings, the real impressions from the game, if something is happening, if something is going on, how characters are going to react, what kind of voiceover is going to be. This is definitely an important aspect, but to keep in mind, this closed beta, something might change in terms of voice acting, but I'm not sure about it. So we might see something maybe not really cool in terms of some characters, but I don't think it's like the end of the world, let's say.
I mean, you evidently you're not going to be perfect. You know, not every character is going to be received well, and you have some Genshin voice actors here too, like Hu Tao voicing the Mint from the game.
And they do a good job with Mint.
Yeah, there are plenty of characters that have emotion. The expression in the character designs in the cutscenes is incredible.
I would not say incredible. I would not say incredible.
You don't
It's
think
good.
that? You know,
No. Incredible is like Zenless Zone Zero and what Wuwa is slowly becoming. But incredible, you're looking at ZZZ, where I can look at the expression and like feel it. Like very animated. It's not quite
well,
there.
we're not
It's
just talking
good.
their facial expressions. We're talking their also how they express themselves physically, with the jumping around, the the animations and everything all combined and all
It's
encompassing.
halfway there. It's halfway there. It's getting there.
The outside of the cutscenes,
Can't
though,
let it go to waste.
just in the normal conversations and the normal chats, they are really, really stationary and just. I mean, it is incredibly ordinary and generic, but not in a bad way. I don't think it's just.
But not in a good way either.
Yeah,
It's
not in a
just
good way
okay.
either. They're just super basic and like they don't even really move. While
I think I'm
talking.
just gonna rate overall the character stuff in whole okay.
What I really don't like though is outside of the cutscenes, when you see them and when they're walking around and everything, their mouths don't move.
Yeah.
That is really annoying. That is crazy.
It's again CBT, so it's going to be probably fixed. It's not the major issue. And again, if we're talking about stationary and not really acting when you're not playing the character, when you're staying in the same spot, let's say AFK, yeah, I'm not thinking this is like really important. Probably if you're staying in a single one location without moving, you are doing something besides of playing. So who's going to watch this? I don't know. But the most important aspect that they didn't disclose a little bit more is actually about the storyline. I mean, okay, what kind of impressions do you have from the story? Is it decent or not? I personally didn't have a lot of time to discover myself the storyline. Unfortunately, I didn't get access to the closed beta test, so I was only able to review different people who are getting access, who are streaming and so on. and I don't have a full understanding of the story, so this part I'm not going to criticize, but it should be kinda understood by everyone that this is going to be definitely one of the most important aspects. Yeah? Why? We're talking about the game which people are comparing with GTA series. Yeah, anime style, obviously, gacha game. It's not going to be the same level as AAA project like GTA, which is killing everything like completely. But let's be real and just mention the most important parts of GTA. Why is it that cool and why is it so successful, let's say? Yeah? It has at some point an open world. It has a freedom of your actions. You're able to do whatever you want, how you want, just don't care at all about what's going on around and do your own business, mess around, I don't know, whatever you want. And interactions with the open world, you can feel them. This is probably the first important aspect of the game. The second one is going to be about the strong storyline. I personally am talking about GTA 5, the latest one version. It has a strong storyline, and it involves you into characters' development, into what's going on, how they're going to deal with this problem, and the style of the gameplay, let's say, is decent. It's really cool. People are inspired with this one. So again, if we're matching at some point with GTA, here we should see some sort of similarities to some extent, at least.
That
Interesting thing.
they don't actually move. Like their mouths are completely still and shut.
Yeah.
So like this is a game releasing in 2025 or 2026. That definitely should not be present. Then we have the combat. So the combat is not Wuthering Waves. I know people were saying based off of like the small amount of footage we had, this is better than Wuthering Waves combat.
No, it's very ZZZ.
Yeah,
it's
this is
not like super hard. Kind of, you dodge when you see the bright thing, the red notification.
Let's say I saw the combats in this game, and probably they're going to show it as well. The whole thing that it really feels kinda slow at some point. Some characters, they are fast enough. They are using kinda decent skills. Their animations are cool, not gonna lie. But they're simple at some point, I don't know. It's like couple skills, basic attacks, and pretty much it. I believe so. There is no real deep thinking about your actions. When this game is considered to be as action RPG, it's supposed to provide some variability, and it's not only in terms of characters, it's about combinations. And I have a feeling they did quite a poor work here, not gonna lie. Enemies, they're kinda stupid, like for real. You don't care really too much about your actions.
Can't
You
let it go
parry
away.
as well with the notification. Like, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, like David said, it's ZZZ with jump.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I would rate the combat pretty solid.
No,
Like,
so the combat has like perfect dodges, it has parries, it has like intro and outro skills.
It's the what you're fighting to me that seems a little.
The monsters are really underwhelming because they kind of just like the majority. We've been playing for 3.5 hours, right? And the monsters just kind of stand there and like just kind of swing around like they're training dummies.
They
And
have a
occasionally
couple
they'll like
mechanics.
try to smack you with their little wacky inflatable arm tube man arms, and you know, that is when you can dodge or parry, but outside of that, they're super predictable. They barely do anything. They hit you for like 5, maybe 10 damage, and you have thousands of HP. And you hit them for like the same. It takes you forever. They are incredible damage sponges.
It depends on how much progressing you are with the character, so basically, when you're going to progress your character, when you're going to upgrade the weapons or whatever is going to be the case, artifacts, you're going to deal more damage. And working with your elements as well, characters, they have their elements, so it's going to play an important role. It's like already, as I've mentioned, that opponents, they feel kind of predictable too much, and it's not really that tough kind of a fight, and pretty much simplistic maybe.
But stepping away and just looking at this
When are you
game
finally
compared
gonna show
to
up?
all the other gacha games that we have right now,
Like coming or just presently?
just
like
present, just
okay.
present.
It's like was Zenless, Star Rail, Genshin.
I'm a little afraid how it's gonna do overall. I think it's gonna have its niche. I think it'll do okay. But with some work, I think this could probably be okay. Decent, even. The thing going for it is kind of like that GTA aspect.
let
They
it go
really
to
need to lean
waste.
hard into that, I think. Anime GTA would be a good hard push into this.
Because you can drive cars, you can steal cars, like requisition.
Again, it's not stealing. Like, the most important aspect here is that it's PG-16, so you can't really steal the requisition, yeah. And some of NPCs, they're able to say no to you. So you won't get the vehicle at the end of the day. You can, let's say, hit the NPC and steal the car, and after that police is going to race you, and this is a whole another story. So first of all, about the motions, let's say, how you're going to drive the car or any other vehicle in this game, and it feels like sensitivity is crazy, like insane. You feel yourself like a freaking dumbass because you're not able to drive a car properly.
Cars. You can ride your little Vespa around the town. There are
About the police officers, let's say, who are going to chase you, I would say it's stupid. Like, you need to have certain ways to escape them if we're talking about such mechanic in this game. Again, it's like here a real implementation of the same stuff as we have in GTA. In GTA, you can run away from police officers. You can, I don't know, change the color of your car. You can remove the stars and so on. You're able to escape it. Here it feels like the cops are freaking Supermans and they're driving some piece of a bullshit. But it's like the same cops as in Need for Speed, I should say. They are driving a freaking rocket. They are able to, I don't know, hit you whatever speed you're going to have, how you're going to drive, it doesn't matter. Anyways, they're going to run after you and they're going to catch you at the end. That's
wanted levels. The cops do chase you. It's really janky and incredibly unintuitive and really poorly handled because the driving in the car is not very good. The Vespa itself, you hit your A or D key and you literally do like a 90-degree turn into a wall. It might be a lot better with controller support, I'm not sure, but
I haven't gotten a car yet. I've only driven the little Vespa, which was a little difficult, but I'm not the best driver in games, so I don't know if I'm the person to talk
you will
here.
hear later today, as of this video going live, which is tomorrow for everyone watching right now,
you see?
what she thinks of the driving, but it's still.
And also their actions are kind of stupid. Like, they're getting outside of the car, they're trying to shoot you, and I don't know, it's probably a bug here. He was driving backwards and they just stopped chasing him. Maybe it's a bug, I don't know, but
It does
their
not
actions are
handle
kind
very
of
well.
stupid.
It handles like a PS1 Gran Turismo game or a PS1 Need for Speed game. It definitely, if it releases with that
When are you finally gonna
handling, it's gonna be really underwhelming. The police, when they were chasing you, man, they're like, you're doing max speed and they got, they hit that NOS button and they're, a mile ahead of you and they're like swerving, somehow getting underneath you. And
But if you think about it, okay, it was really funny at first. How funny is that going to be like 20 times in?
Interesting thing.
Is that going to
When
be
are you finally
interesting,
gonna show
a game mechanic that you're going to want to continue make pop up?
It depends. And here we're talking about the world interaction. So again, we're going to compare with GTA, yeah? Why? Because in which situation you may be that cops are going to chase you? If you're going to kill someone, let's say, yeah, it's not a good comparison to this game. If you're going to steal something, if you have a certain mission where you are doing some kind of actions which are going to attract attention of cops, and this is intuitive due to communication with the world which is around you. Here I kinda didn't feel a real interaction with the world, at least for now. I might be wrong about it, but I have a feeling that it's been done kinda poor.
Is it?
I think it's fun and funny initially, but the more you do it, like the more
Like
you're
if
gonna
you,
be like,
if you sit there and think about it,
again.
like even chat can think about this, like if you had that mechanic popping up every single
time
time
you stole an item off a shelf, or every time you tried to take a car, or
is that going to be fun in the long run?
and then
is
the
my
parole
question.
system. Oh my god, 15 minutes of not being able to
Yeah, it's like a penalty where you are not able to do anything, almost anything illegal for 15
even
minutes.
ride your Vespa.
Even
That was
this.
crazy.
So I'm not sure.
The best way to get away was going in reverse, exactly. For some reason, the cops couldn't chase you when you were reversing.
reverse?
They just stopped and were like, what is that guy
let it
doing?
go to waste.
As you're driving away in reverse. Like, haha, catch me now, sucker. And they're like, is that dude reversing
Here are
away
some
from? Hey,
combos
Bob, how do we handle
for you
that?
to
Do we
see,
chase
understand.
him? No, we just let him drive away, reverse away. I've never seen someone reverse away from a collective of cops before. What do we do? And then Bob's like, I don't know, Fred. Maybe we should radio this in. And
I would like to experience more of this game though, because I would be very curious
Can't
what
let it go to
happens
waste.
beyond the 3 hours that we've been playing.
well, that's what we're gonna be streaming for the next several days.
Yeah.
The Gacha, though, I think is very interesting. The animation for Gacha is terrible. The whole dice board thing is so bad. I love the fact there's no 50-50. Fantastic design choice.
Like as you can see, some aspects there are kinda looking cool, but overall simplistic.
I don't know if the pity carries over for like the guarantee between banners. So I as an example in Arknights Enfield, as I addressed earlier, if I recall correctly, in Arknights Enfield, the guarantee does not carry over, so you can get like 77 pulls through your guarantee, and then a new banner launches and you lose the 77 that you had. So I don't know if in NTE, if you hit the like 88 out of 90 of your guarantee, and then you're 2 off when the next banner hits and you didn't know what was coming.
It's going to be just a freaking scam that they are going to do such, just because the whole thing of all probably modern games that if they're that greedy in terms of such aspect, it's a huge L to the game, and yeah, it's going to be just a lot of people who are going to be disappointed about it, and it's kind of a logical thing to bring the pity from the previous one banner to the next one.
The new banner hits and then you're back to 0. I think that would suck.
Yeah.
That'd be really bad.
Can't let it go to
But for
waste.
sure, I'm going to put these things in the suggestion bin to them, and hopefully people playing it or watching it can make suggestions to them.
But the dice board animation, though, when circling, it was so underwhelming.
Yeah.
There was not a single person, I think, out of the, I think the stream has reached like 20,000 people in the 3 hours we've been playing total, like cumulatively.
No,
And
this doesn't feel like TOF again. This feels better than TOF.
a lot better, yeah. This is a
Interesting
marketable improvement
things.
over Tower Fantasy.
Yeah.
Finally gonna show up.
I'm just
But-
looking at it compared to what we have right now. What is making this particular game stand out? And the thing that it has to offer that the other gacha games don't have is that GTA aspect.
That's true. That's probably the only aspect, let's say, of the game that might carry it out. But here we're going to have some questions, and I'm going to actually discuss them in a bit. The most important point here is that probably the main focus should be actually about this GTA unique aspect, your interactions with the world, how you're going to interact with NPC, how you're going to manage your life in the game, let's say buildings, your house, cars, whatever activities is going to be. This is probably the most important, and again, another important one is the story aspect. It should be strong. Like, I don't see really a lot of chances, let's say, if the storyline is going to be done really poor in this game. I might be wrong though, but these are my feelings and thoughts for now. Sorry about camera, guys. I forgot that I was on the left side and I was blocking our main streamer, let's say.
I
But
don't know
that
how
is a
they're going to
really
lean into that.
poorly implemented version of it.
Correct.
So, because like, and I know there are lots of people that don't believe Ananta's coming. That's perfectly fine. But Ananta, right, it offered you more, in theory, than...
That's the main aspect that I wanted to discuss here. So probably majority of you actually know about Ananta. If not, I suggest you to have a look. But this is another one game. They both came somewhere around the same time, yeah, in the same style. So Ananta, it's another game which is supposed to be as well in GTA style. People are calling it such. And again, trailer is a trailer, obviously. Everything might be completely different from the trailer, but the aspects that they have provided in their notes and in the trailer, they looks kinda more decent, let's say. And if developers will be able to provide stronger storyline, better interactions with the world, I won't see any single just reason to play NTE if this game is not going to, you know, catch with something, at least story. From all the other perspectives, again, it's CBT, it's early to talk about it, and we don't have actual showcase of Ananta, but from what we've seen, Ananta looks more strong.
just the GTA aspect of like the car stealing and the wanted levels.
Interesting things.
But this just feels like
Finally gonna show up.
in the few hours we played, the same game that we have, just not as good and with really poorly designed like GTA elements implemented. But that might be a lot better because this is a beta test. Like, we'll end this by stating, yes, this is a beta test. So
That's
everything here is subject to change. Everything will very likely get better between now and release. Everything will...
Yeah, my main aspect again as a consumer, even with the fact that I wasn't able to play the game because I'm a small guy, they didn't invite me, it is what it is. But I have experience in a lot of other games and I've seen a lot of gameplay, and my main task, let's say, as a content creator, to provide the comprehensive feedback which is going to be kind of relevant, see opinions from people. So again, don't forget to provide your thoughts.
probably get better between where we are now in the game and where we are 3 days from now in the game. So we have experienced very little. This is what people are going to think when they get into the game and experience it for the very first time. And this is the time to give your constructive feedback so they can improve. I stress this time and time again. There's no point during a beta being nice. Don't sit there and guzzle the cum of the devs, because there's no point. If you let them release a subpar product, you're going to get a subpar product. If you tell them all the things they need to improve, they have the opportunity to improve on all of them and give you a much better game. And at the end of the day, we all want good games, we want better games. So they have a lot of areas to improve, but they also do a lot well so far.
Yeah, like the combat.
Yeah.
That was fun. But what you're fighting, not fun.
Based
It's going to be not for everyone, let's say.
off of 3.5 hours of gameplay the night that it launched, because it launched 3.5 hours ago, or almost 4 hours ago. So we'll be playing it every day this week, though. If you guys want to come on over and join us, we'd love to have you experience all of this together. Win your beta keys if you can, and just don't misconstrue this as us saying the game is bad, because it's not. I would say, based off of everything we've experienced so far, this is a solid 6 out of 10 for a beta. This might improve to a 7 or an 8 out of 10 for a beta as we make our way through it. But right now, solid 6 out of 10, no problem.
Because I played the Genshin betas, like the early betas. It was poop.
I know you think...
So later on, I should tell you that impressions didn't really change too much. It is what it is. They need to work on this game for sure. At least this is my impressions for now. They need to improve a lot, and especially focus on certain aspects which are important. For now, quite honestly, I consider this game is a little bit weak. Let's say it still can be promising and interesting, but from my personal point of view, I consider it's kinda weak. I'm not going to really rate this game. For me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's going to be or strong, or mid, or weak. Okay, let's be honest, for now I consider it kinda mid. Let's say it this way. Yeah, but far from being really that strong, and there are a lot of work to do. Otherwise, if Ananta is going to manage everything on a good level, and when it's going to be released, and I believe it's going to be released, and we are waiting for the closed beta test as well, if it's going to deal way better than NTE, then this game won't really survive, because again, if you have a better option, why you're going to play this one? Not clear. But overall, yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.